Hi everybody, this is Rosa's Bay Lady. So this is my son Isaac's horse. She's a 3-year-old filly and she's a registered Missouri Foxtrotter, and she's not been backed yet. She's not started under saddle, and show season is coming up in May, and today is January 3rd. So I'm going to try to get the first ride on her today, or at least get the training started. So a lot of the people that were originals on my channel were here for Foxtrotter content. And one of my mission statements of my whole channel was to promote the breed of the Missouri Foxtrotter and to share my knowledge of how to train the show gaits of the Missouri Foxtrotter. Because when I started out 20-30 years ago, nobody really wanted to freely give that information away. So this horse should have the potential to be a very good show horse. And if not, she'll just make a really great family horse for trail riding and such. The difference in the trail riding Foxtrotter and the show Foxtrotter is just the amount of effort that they're putting into each stride. You wouldn't want a trail horse putting 110% effort into every part of its gait and the walk and the trot and stuff, because they just wear out too fast. But to accentuate the gait, that's what we do for the show gaits. The first couple months will probably just be getting her muscled up, getting her to hit her growth spurt, which all young horses do when you start exercising them under saddle and putting a load on them. She's already a good stocky built mare. She's pretty heavy for a 3-year-old, and she's about, well, we'll measure her and tell you how tall she is, because I bet she'll grow like a weed once she starts getting daily exercise. Although she's not really started yet, she's had just a good foundation of work with her. She's been to the river and we've played on her and got on and off of her back in the water and swam her. She's halter broke, and she's just out of a bloodline where she will be an easy horse to train. So we might go a little faster with her than we would a new horse that we just bought, or than what we would suggest you go with a 2-year-old or 3-year-old that you're training to ride, because we know her nature, we know her parents, we know the foundation she has under her, and it should be pretty easy. This bloodline, the Grand Central bloodline, has been very easy to get started under saddle for me so far.
Her mama is our mare Jessie.
Yes.
And then so she's Lucky, our really good mare Lucky. That's her niece, right? That would be her aunt. I mean. Oh, and she's related to Ozark, Happy.
Yeah.
So she's a sweetie pie.
So Champ would be her half brother.
Oh yeah, that's right. The one that we sold,
yeah,
Jesse's boy, the little foal this year that you guys
Royce.
saw. Oh, Royce.
Royce,
yeah,
not Bryce. Royce.
Yeah, his name's Royce now. Is her half brother.
Yeah. All right, let's go get started. And right now, if you're interested in seeing a horse get from no rides all the way to the show ring, she'll have her own playlist. So subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and there should be hopefully weekly videos of her progress. And unless we just get too busy to keep up with that schedule, because it is hard producing films. Now, if you're not a gaited horse person, a lot of the training will still apply on how to just train a a trail horse, any horse. But if you're not a Foxtrotter person, but you are a gaited horse person, it will still overlap to just about any gaited breed. Some of the tricks that I'll show you that are specific to gaited horses. And then if you ever want to have a Foxtrotter, when we get even further in towards March, when we start training the show gaits and asking for more effort, it'll get really interesting. So hopefully this is the start of a new world champion journey right here today. So, like I say, she's already got a little bit more of a foundation on her than some unstarted colts will have. So I'm gonna skip a few steps. I'm still gonna go slow, but when I'm gonna do the groundwork, I would just as soon have her saddled already, so she's getting used to wearing a saddle and having her tack on, and knowing that when she's tacked up, it's time to go to work. So when you're saddling a young horse for the first time, and this isn't really her first time being saddled, we've sat the saddle on her over the years multiple times, just not lately. So when you saddle in one, you don't want them to be tied up. You want them to be loose, so that if they rear back, it doesn't become a wreck or a catastrophe. You kind of advance and retreat. So we put it on her, she was good, so we take it off. Let her investigate it, know it. She already knows what it is. Probably wouldn't hurt to do. Oh, I have a helper. Look at there.
Hi, you.
Yeah, he taking the buggy whip for me. That's good. Ooh. Do it from both sides, just so she gets used to that. I like how she's investigating that. That worked real good. She went to walk off and I just stepped on the rope and it kind of turned her naturally to where it was like a low impact correction on turning away from the pressure. Okay. She's not really leaving, but she's wanting to look away. That's okay. Oh, look, my helper's back. Isn't that great?
Might need to put him up.
Yeah, it goes this way. Okay. Now, always want to lift your saddle pad up here by the withers on these tall treed western saddles. It's not pulling down as this gets strapped down. It's not pulling the weight there. And then I also always try to pull the mane out so it's not in a bind and put my hand under there. Make sure there's a little bit of room. Let those down nice and easy on a young horse. This part we want to just do real slow and not even snug at first. Always want to try to keep her attention on us. Ooh. I'm mostly against treats, to the point that if I didn't have them, because viewers sent them to me, I wouldn't use them for this. But since the viewers have bought me some, I'm going to go ahead and right when I first snug that up, I give her a treat the first few times so that there's a positive connotation with this saddle going on her back. In theory, they might link those two together and say, you know, good things happen when the saddle comes out. Just also a little side note, I have an under pad for extra cushion. I have a 1/2 inch real spongy pad, then a thick high quality blanket. Until you get to know your horse enough, you want it to be extra cushioned so that there's no pressure points. Okay, so we got that on. Let me show you the bridle I use for starting fox trotters. I start all my fox trotters in this bit right here. So it's got a gentle curve to fit the mouth. It's broke in the middle so that there's no bar pressure on the bars of the mouth. There's no shank. And this slides and gets tighter until she gives to the pressure. So it's a sliding D-ring gag snaffle. That's what I like to use. A lot of people will say, oh, why don't you train bitless? Bitless is fine for trail horses, but you're not ever going to show a gaited horse bitless and expect to win. You have to be working in unison. You have to have feel. You need feather light corrections and pressure and release in that mouth, and you just can't do it with a hard strap over a bridge of a nose to that level. Not against it on a good broke trail horse. Same thing with shoeing. There's these groups in the equine world that think they have a moral supremacy or hierarchy, and one of the loudest ones now is the barefoot riding community. You can't do that with gaited horses, because you got to think about it, like I said earlier, when they're given maximum effort. Think about running your finger like this over a piece of sandpaper. with 1% effort. It doesn't hurt. But if you're going like this with 100% of your force on that sandpaper, it's gonna hurt your hand. The ground is basically just sandpaper. It's gravel and rocks, and just depending on the grit of your surface you're riding on, the ground is sandpaper. And when a gaited horse is really working hard and taking longer strides, their foot slides. It's not like a quarter horse that just plops down a foot. Every hit of a hoof slides, and it's gonna wear them out. So this first week, while I'm working with her and doing groundwork, one of the things we'll be doing is teaching her to stand so that she can be shod. So that's why I always train with a bit and always ride my gaited horses shod. Okay, so now I've got the bridle in her mouth, and of course that's new, so she's gonna chew on it a little. I have a cavesson on, just finger tight, not even finger tight. It's actually pretty loose when she has her mouth closed. But that's just to keep her from being able to gape her mouth open wide enough that she can slip her tongue to the opposite side of the bit, because we don't want that to happen. And these gag bits, when they're not being rode, get pretty loose. I'll show you what we do now, or what I do now. This is a lot for her to take in. So I put this up under the saddle horn here, or through the tree in the gap here, and then back over the saddle horn. And make sure the reins are even. That way she can have her head in a comfortable, relaxed position, but when she goes to like lower her head, she'll feel that bump on the bridle, and she'll just naturally have to give into it. The saddle's been on for a few minutes now, so now I'm gonna snug it one notch higher. Oh, baby. Now that's enough where it won't fall underneath her. And then all I do before I start a lesson, since she's a young horse, I'm just gonna turn her loose in here and clean up the barn or do something for 30 minutes and let this just soak and let her get used to all the tack and let her be free and kind of learn to accept it before I start asking anything of her. And she's just chewing and licking and mouthing that bit and trying to learn what it is and what to get used to there. So we'll leave her for a while and we'll just let her figure that out. Hi, baby. She keeps following us kind of for comfort, reassurance, which is nice. You can see the saddle doesn't bother her. She didn't hump up any. Another little tip real quick. When you're training young horses, a rope halter like this with the stiffest, hardest rope you can get with knots right on the noseband is the best thing to train in, because it naturally teaches them pressure and release from their own movements. Okay, so just like children, when they are full of energy and hyper, they don't learn nothing. So she's been in the stall a few days, so I'm gonna take her for a four-wheeler ride. Our horses are already trained how to lead from a four-wheeler, so she's good about this. But just in case, I like to tie her inner tube like this because it's stretchy, and tying onto a rack or anything solid, even when you're tying a horse up that stands still, if they learn to pull back and break lead ropes and stuff, it's bad for them. It can be really bad for their alignment of their pole and just hard on their head. So I'll lead her with this rope, but I'll have her tied on here in case something would happen. But like I said, she already knows how to lead. And we're just gonna go up in the woods and do some hills and some four-wheeler trails. Let her get her energy wore out of her, and then we'll come back and start learning stuff. Some people can just use a round pen and just run their horse around in circles and get the energy out that way. But I want the round pen to be a place of learning and, you know, kind of like brain enrichment, not a place of, oh, he's gonna run me around with a stick for a whole long time. So this will be better for her brain and more fun for her to use her energy up going on a four-wheeler ride than it would be running circles in a round pen. Well, we did about a 2-mile circle, and now you can see her chest is sweating a little. So she's got she's got the wire edge wore off, is what I like to say, and She should be more susceptible to learning now. Good girl. Okay, so now we are back in the round pen. She's wore off her excess energy. She's had an hour to think about having the tack on, so now it's just time to just start doing some lessons. So some of my goals are just to get her to learn some voice cues, like to walk and to move up a little faster, to hold still when I want to mess with her, to not move once I've put her in a place. And we'll just go and I'll narrate it as we go on what she can learn. Walk up. Walk up. Good girl. So you just increase the level of pressure when you tell them to do something until they do it, and then you release the pressure a little bit when they do it. They are smart animals and they learn and catch on quick. Pick up. Get up. Good girl. She kind of cuts that corner. I'll wave the rope at her. Now there's a drive line on a horse you've heard people talk about before, right about here. Keep your pressure behind that line and they'll go faster. And what I mean by pressure, I mean your look, your eyes, your shoulders, everything. Get up. Get up. Now what I'm paying attention to a lot though is her eye, and that left ear is pointed at me, listening to me talk, so I know she's working with me. That's a good thing. Get up. Get up. I like a buggy whip better because you can throw it over their backs and get them used to some feel while you're doing it. But a flag will work too, work just as good. I don't use a flag very often because, get up, get up. The flags always fall off the stick and they tear up and they don't last as long. And you can't reach out and touch them and make noises on the saddle and wrap this around their legs. Just get them used to all sorts of stuff with a buggy whip that you can't do with a flag. Get up. So like when I want to stop her, get up. I'll put a little more pressure on her, get her moving. When I want to stop her, I just step in front of her and then back off. And she faces up, she's licking her lips good, she's walking to me. I dropped the whip, all of that I really like. Good girl. Kind of advance and retreat. She's not head shy, but she's a little unsure of you getting real aggressive petting her forehead. So I might come over and pet her on the neck or something that she'll like better. Good girl. I wanted her to turn and face up to me. Good. Without pressure on the rope. That's good. You see, when she makes that decision, she licks and chews too. That's a good girl. Now she stepped off away from me there without me telling her to, so that now I'm going to drive her on for that. And they will learn to stand still when they're supposed to be standing still.
While editing this video, I realized that I'm smooching way too much. That can lead to the horse becoming desensitized to the cue, but a lot of times you don't realize the mistakes you're making until you watch yourself back on video.
Get up. Get up, get up. Get up. Ooh, that's a good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Puppy, you're in a lot of trouble. Get out of here. Oh, that's a good girl. Walking towards me. Good girl. Oh, she couldn't take that pressure. Get up. Ooh. I'm gonna try that again. I tapped on the saddle and she couldn't take that without thinking she needed to move her feet. Get up. There, she just moved her feet again, so we're gonna get up. it'll just bark its head off. Get up. Get up. Good girl. Stand still. So, stand. She moves another muscle, I'm gonna send her again. Oh, good girl. Good girl. It doesn't take a whole lot of time doing this, and they learn to keep their feet still when they're not being asked to, because horses are naturally lazy. They want to conserve energy, and being drove away is their form of punishment in a herd, usually, for small offenses. So they'll learn. Oh, stand still. Ho, ho, ho. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. So I'm gonna wait for a sign that she's not liking this, being drove away. Get up. She's slowing down, looking in quite a bit, wanting to quit. Okay, ooh. Good girl. Stand there. Good girl, stand. Ho, ho. Hey. Hey, stand. Instead of driving her away that time, I wanted to correct it once to kind of show her that's what I'm wanting. Give her a chance. If she does it again, then I'll drive her away. Ooh. Pat them all over. Seems like when I pat that saddle is the thing she can't take the most. Try to get her used to that. Oh. Good girl. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Right now I'm gonna do that till she does one of three things. Cocks a back foot, licks her lips, sighs, or lowers her head. So one of four things. And all I'm doing is tapping on that saddle. Oh, that counts right there. Turning her head in and sniffing me. I would count that as a sign of relaxation too. It's looking basically for any sign of accepting that and relaxing. I'll do it to the other side. Hi. Hi. There, she's licking and chewing her lips again. Means she's forgot about what I'm doing, starting to think about something else, which is good enough for me. Okay, since she's having the most issues with things on the saddle, I'm gonna go on to this tarp. So all I'm gonna do at first, let her sit, kind of an advance and retreat thing. Might try to get to where I can pet her on the neck with it. Good girl. Good girl, come here. Come here. No, you can't do that for me, that's fine. Hi. Good girl. Like I say, she's from a bloodline where that's not very reactive. So I can go a little faster than I would with a scared colt. Good girl. You're okay. Oh, that's good. And just advance and retreat a few times so that she sees that putting up with the pressure relieves the pressure. Good girl. girl. Who? Good girl. Okay. Who? Who? Oh. Okay, well, she's got that on. Walk, walk, walk. Good girl. Now this, I'm gonna let her just do it as slow and as easy as she will. Come on. Good girl, good girl. She's still got her ear on me and not the tarp. So she's handling this very well. Oh, she's licking and chewing, so I'm gonna let her stop. Oh, you even gonna poop? That's a sign of, that's a good sign too. That's good. You're just being a real good girl. Yeah, you're being a real good girl about all this. Let's go the other direction. How about that, huh? Let's go this direction. Walk up. Good girl. Good girl. That's just wonderful. And she's walking out nice and calm with big strides. Gaited horses shorten up and tighten up when they're stressed, and they loosen up and take bigger strides when they're relaxed. So this is a very good sign that she's absorbing and doing what she needs to be doing. Good girl. Okay, I'm gonna step in front of her and bring her to me like that. That's very good. Oh, very good. Yes, you are. It's a good girl. Yeah, all right. She done so well there that for a little bit of a reward, I'm just going to give her a 5-minute break, maybe a little longer. Leave her loose in here. For this next part, we're gonna have Isaac help me out here a little bit. I wanna get her to where she's driving with driving reins and feeling a little bit of pressure on the bit. So I'll have Isaac do the stand in the center and kind of direct her, and I'll just walk along behind her. And we'll start working on that. So when I'm using this saddle as driving reins, I use this back grommet here, run my rein through and go up to the bit. Hold her by the halter bud so she don't move. I'm gonna go around and do the same to the other side. Oh, baby. Oh, you're okay. Okay, Isaac. Yeah. Okay, now you get to the center and point with your left hand and tell her to walk. Gather up your rope a little.
Walk.
Walk, babe.
Walk.
Tap the ground. Walk. 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 Good girl. So this will just get her used to me being back here. Easy. Wiggle the rope at her face. You know, whenever she tries to cut the corner too much, wiggle that rope. Good girl. Walk up. Good girl. Walk. Walk up, babe. Good girl. Good girl. And like I'm gently putting some outside rein pressure, trying to get her to go to the rail. And if she gives it all, I release it instantly. Timing is everything when getting a young horse that's never done this to start giving to pressure. You gotta be spot on with your release when she gives makes the correct decision. gives you a correct answer or a correct try. Timing is everything. So like right here, I'm putting a little pressure on the outside of the rein. There she went to the outside and I released it. As soon as I said there, it has to get up. Has to kind of become second nature. Okay, now switch hands, Isaac, with both things. And I'll try to turn her to the inside. Good. Yep. Good. Good girl. Good girl. Now I'm gonna try a stop. Whoa. 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 Good girl. Same thing with the stops. You just hold a little bit of pressure till they stop, and then you need to release that pressure instantly on a stop. Good girl. Now, Isaac, you don't do nothing, and I'll see if I can get her to go. Walk, no, just hold the regular amount of slack. Good girl. Walk up. Walk up. Walk up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good girl. What a good girl. She's learning very quickly. Very quickly. Okay, Isaac, switch hands. Point to the left. Walk. Wiggle that whip. No. Walk. Good girl. Walk up. Walk up. Walk. Walk. Good girl. Walk. What a good girl. She's learning this with very little fight, because we're making the cues very evident for her to find the answers, because that's why I got Isaac in here to help back my cues up. My cues are pretty foreign to her. We've never tried this before. She knows what somebody standing in the middle of the round pen is. Walk up, walk up, walk up. Who, oh, 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 babe, oh, oh, good girl, good girl. Okay, walk, walk, good girl. Oh, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Good girl. Okay, so now she's got a basic concept of that, so I'm gonna try it all by myself. Walk up, walk up. Good girl. Walk up. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So I've got pressure on the outside rein, and I wiggle this one, which is another form of pressure. It's putting pressure on her left side while the outside rein is pulling pressure onto the outside. So both things back each other up. If I had to, I got this long stick I can reach up and tap her with too on whatever side I need pressure on. Now I'm gonna try to turn back the other direction while moving. I'm gonna use the stick on the left side. If I even have to tap on the face, it's fine. Good girl. Walk up. Good. She gave to that good, so I'm gonna release. Now we're gonna go to the right. Good. Walk up. Very good. And this is our very first time doing this, so if it doesn't look perfectly smooth, it's because we're not fabricating a video to make ourselves look good. We're showing you real life. Real life horse training. It's not the way I do every colt. Every colt is different. I know this one's temperament, so I'm going faster than I generally would because she has a foundation. of knowledge from being raised here. And I know the bloodline on a horse makes so much difference on how you train it. You would think it wouldn't, but so much of their temperament is genetic. And I know her genetics are fast learning and easy going. Oh, whoa, babe. Whoa, 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 good girl. That's a good girl. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna try and go left. Walk. 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 At. Walk. Good girl. Oh, I thought she was gonna turn left. Walk. Good girl. That's a good girl. And now we're gonna try and turn right. Turn. Good girl. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Those two turns were so good, oh, that's a good spot to quit for a while. Every time a horse does good in anything, that's the time to quit. Let them realize that that good effort is the place that they get rewarded and the place that they get a break. And we're not going to quit the whole training session. We're just going to quit for a while. Leave her tacked up, leave her standing here. But it's still a reward, it's still a release. And I'll get out and go get a drink or something and come back and we'll finish up the training. She's almost had enough for the day, but I got a day off and it's the middle of winter. And it's beautiful out, so we're gonna get quite a bit done in this training session. Maybe more than I would actually suggest somebody getting done on a young horse. But like I say, she's gonna be an exceptional horse, so she can take an exceptional, she's, everywhere she moves, she steps on that rein. Walk up, babe. Walk up. There we go. All right, break time. We're gonna let Isaac get on her for the first time and put a little weight in the saddle and stuff. We've been on her in the river before, so it's not gonna be completely foreign to her. We're not really gonna ride her, just wanted her to have this be in her mind so that she can kind of stew on it, start to think and let it soak. I normally would like to do it myself or Becca, you know, with more experience, but it's Isaac's horse, so it's important he be the first person to be on her and ride her. So we're gonna be teaching Isaac what to do at the same time we're teaching the horse what to do. So we'll get her in one of these holes just so it makes it a little easier. The ground, this dirt floor is not real level. So what I want you to do first is just put your foot in and bounce a little bit. No, don't put it too far in. Just get ready to take it out just with the toe. Because she's not broke, so we just want to just have a little bit. Good girl. Bounce a little. Okay, now back off. Oh, yeah, good side. We're just going to advance and retreat like that a little. So what I want you to do is just get up and put your body over with your belly on the seat. And just rest there for a minute. Slow down.
Oh, gosh.
Just hang over there a little. Good girl. Okay.
Just wanted to point out that several months back, Isaac injured his leg. We've looked into it. We don't exactly know what's wrong with it, but that's why he looks like he struggles to get on a little bit. He's usually a little bit better at that.
I'm just going to go ahead and have you go ahead and get up on her. Try to keep, as you go up, try to keep your body close. Like, don't stick your butt way out. The closer you are going vertical, the less stress there is on the horse.
Oh, baby. Did get ready if you need to get down. You gotta dismount as fast as you can.
Are the stirrups too long?
Just
shorten them a lot.
Just maybe pet her.
Good girl.
Let her relax.
Yeah, just pet her, talk to her. Pet her all over her neck and her butt. And if she starts to move, grab that saddle horn with both hands. If you start to fall off, keep hold of the saddle horn and let your feet hit the ground first instead of your body.
Good girl, lady. Maybe talk to her, Isaac. She knows your voice really well.
Yeah, good girl. I've got some treats in my pocket. And kind of like when I first put the saddle up there, I don't mind her getting a treat to have a good connotation with it. Let me shorten the stirrups if I can. While you're up there. Take her for now. Lift your knee. There you go.
You're okay, girl. Oh, baby. You guys forgot to say a prayer.
Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this horse. Thank you for your dominion and your wisdom. Lady, God has given us dominion over you. Oh, yeah. So be calm, have a spirit of calmness. Let your will fall right in line with our will. Keep us safe. Be healthy and great. What you do in Jesus' name.
Amen. Good girl, lady.
Keep petting her. Keep talking to her. Yes.
Good girl, lady.
Come on. What my plan is for her training for this week, I'm going to get her to where she can drive with those driving reins. I'll practice in here another time or two. Then I'll get her doing it outside, and I'll do it about 3 times outside. And then I'll get her saddled up like this, and I'll tie her to my other horse that's already trained, and I'll put Isaac in the saddle, and I'll take him on a trail ride. Do that a few times. And then I'll start riding her in the round pen myself and guiding her, and then I'll turn her over to Isaac to start riding her. Taking Isaac on trail rides with him on the saddle and her tied to my horse will keep him safe, get her used to carrying a rider, and it'll build her strength up really quick to where she can handle me in here for short durations on the round pen. Because Isaac's, over 100 pounds lighter than me. So, horses build strength pretty quick. And she's plenty strong enough to carry me for short periods of time. Girl.
Good girl, lady.
This was really just an introduction to her of what's to come. So, since we did so much in the first part of the lesson, I'm not going to ask for any more steps today. I just want this to be a positive experience for her. So I'm going to leave Isaac up there, and I'm going to give her a scoop of grain and take her bridle off and just let him sit there while she eats her grain. And that'll be the end of the lesson. This is an important tip. As much as we did today and as much as she learned, it was a little bit aggressive of a lesson, really. There was a lot covered, steering, driving, bridling, saddling, tarps. I mean, and then carrying a rider, all in the first legit lesson. I've done groundwork with her. Becca's done groundwork with her. Isaac's done groundwork with her. So she's had lessons her whole life, but this was day one of training a horse to ride. So this was a big lesson. So my tip is, after a lesson like that, put them in an enclosed, comfortable stall by themselves. So like, we turn her out with the other horses a lot, but when a horse has a big lesson like that, if they can sit in a stall with plenty of hay and feed by themselves, they kind of soak on that and think about it. And tomorrow when you get them out, the next day, if you're going to be consistent, that horse will have absorbed that lesson better than if I took her right from the lesson and turned her loose with the herd of horses. It just doesn't, it seems like they kind of, they don't sit there and absorb that lesson as much as if you turn them out. That is also why I did this lesson all day long today. Like, it's gonna look like a lot in this one video, but we started this morning, and every time we do one step of that lesson, we'd leave her for a while in this round pen by herself to let that first part of that lesson soak in, or each one of those steps of that lesson soak in. And now tonight, she'll be in a stall. We'll clean it and feed it and put good food and water and hay and bedding and everything in it before we put her in it. We'll put it in her and just leave her. And then tomorrow when we get her out, she will have learned this lesson even better than she knows it today. Okay, so we're just gonna let her sit here and eat this grain and let Isaac sit up there while she does it, because it's kind of psychology that we're working on here. This is going to end the lesson on a real positive note in her mind, that having a rider up top, the bridle got taken off, which is a form of release. Then she got grain. Then as Isaac gets off, we're gonna strip the saddle immediately and end on a real positive note. And then we're gonna stick her in the stall to let her soak on this lesson for the night. And she'll be in a great mental state tomorrow. She'll understand and have absorbed everything we've taught her today. And we'll keep building on the progress we made for the day. What do you think, bud? How'd she do?
Good.
Are you excited?
Mm-hmm. She's pretty sweet, huh?
Beautiful, too.
Mm-hmm. Good job, lady.